I am Meenakshi Sharma, working as an assistant professor in ITS Pharmacy College. I would like to give presentation on plant tissue culture and their advantages. The learners will able to learning or to able to understand what is plant tissue culture, history of plant tissue culture, and advantages of plant tissue culture. A definition we can define through a best definition which is obtained through the book Dr. A.N. Kalia, that is, plant tissue culture is an technique or growing plant cells, tissues, organ, seed, or other plant parts in a sterile environment on a nutrient media. We can also define as that plant tissue culture is in vitro cultivation of plant cells or tissue under aseptic or controlled environment condition. A liquid or semi-solid, well-defined nutrient media. Like we can say, we can production of primary and secondary metabolites or to regenerate the plant through the plant tissue culture. The history involved in that is in 1902, the idea of totipotency is the capacity of the cell to grow of plant cells was given by Herbert, and in 1937 White first time established a successful route of culture of tomato. Again, in 1941, Vancouver used the coconut milk for the growth and development of young diatora embryos. That young diatora embryos are in the coconut milk is changing in the culture media, not the part of the plant. Yeah. And next is in 1957, Cook and Miller demonstrated and the role of auxins and cytokinins on the roots and shoots formation in tobacco tissue. Again, in 1962, the Mushri and Miller introduced the medium of tobacco culture. In 1987, isolation of betagene from the bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis. Furthermore, investigation is done to this time. The next thing is, if we can cultivate in the fields. Why do we need of the plant tissue culture as we can do by simple cultivation method? So we can grow in the field, but what is the requirement? What is the need of the plant tissue culture as we can do by simple cultivation? So there are some advantages of the plant tissue culture which are shown below. That is the first advantages, that is availability of raw material. That availability of raw material is nothing but that is some plants are difficult to cultivate and are also not available in the abundance, and the tissue culture technique is considered a better source for regular and uniform supply of raw material for medicinal plant industry and the production of the phytopharmaceuticals, that is the availability to the companies. Next that is the fluctuation in supplies and quality. The method of production of crude drug is variable in quality due to the changes in climate, crop diseases, and season. So all these problems can be overcome by the tissue culture. We can supply and quality we can maintain to the company. So as well as the pharma industries. New method for isolation. The new method for isolation means it is possible to obtain new method for isolation and newer compounds from plant by this technique, and for which patent can be obtained by the process patent or the product patent. The next advantage is over the cultivation method, that is a biotransformation, that is a process through which the functional group organic compound can modified by living cells. So reaction are feasible using plant cells culture. The next is a very important, that is a disease-free and desired propylagogy. That is a disease-free or desired secondary metabolites we can obtain through the plant tissue culture easily. So, a large scale production of plant with disease free and desired properly can be stored and maintained without any damage, like transportation or your substitute plantations. Next is biosynthetic pathway. Biosynthetic pathway is nothing but a tissue culture can be used for the tracing of biosynthetic pathways. The nature when the developing of the plant or the developing of the secondary metabolites by using labeled precursor in the culture media. The next advantages, the some more advantages are there. That is the next is immobilization of cells. Immobilization of cells means that we can immobilize the some cells into the liquid media. When we required, we can use it. Like tissue culture can be used for the plant preservation by immobilization. Immobilization is entrapment and cell further facilitating transportation and biotransformation. For example, we can use the sodium alginate beads for the further process. Continuous uniform biomass is obtained through the plant tissue culture, and medicinal important compound can be synthesized which can't be synthesized chemically. So many drugs are there which are obtained through the plant and used in the allopathic medicine. For example, that quinine sulfate. So that is obtained through the cinchona, but it is used in the form of allopathic medicines. Like next is useful natural compounds can be produced. Improvement of medicinal plant species, we can improve the secondary metabolites through the plant tissue culture by changing the media, by changing the hormones, or by changing the different things to that plant tissue culture, like mutation, hybridization we can done into the plant tissue culture, so we can improve the our secondary metabolites nature. Next is propagation of plant without seed in defined and controlled condition. In cultivation method, we require the seed. We cannot grow the part of the plant into the cultivated fields. So we can done the propagation without seed in the plant tissue culture, and we can control the condition. By this we can get the secondary metabolites as well. So this is all about the plant tissue culture and their advantages. So thank you for listening the my words. Thanks.